we might as well put a bow on this whole FaZe, Rain, and Grace drama that has been going on. I'm sure by now you've seen FaZe, Rain's video of them sitting down and talking, and the end of that video is kind of crazy.
I understand how you feel, but you brought things up against me. How do you expect me to react?
I think you're a terrible person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's pulling the acting shit out now. Because I said that
Pulling the acting shit out now?
How am I a terrible person for what?
Pulling the acting shit out now.
How am I a terrible person? Explain.
I don't owe you an explanation, actually.
And I owe you an explanation.
Macho, tell Vera that I'm not doing this video, and if they release anything, then I'm leaving, please.
Get fucking wrecked.
So you can see from that, apparently she's leaving FaZe, right? I don't know exactly how that would work because obviously she's under contract. So this isn't like 2010 when people joined FaZe or Optic or a team where you just verbally joined them and you could just say, I'm done with this, well, I'm leaving, and just leave, right? There's contracts involved now. So don't know exactly how she can just get up and leave FaZe, but you know, apparently that's what she's gonna do because the video came out. And honestly, the video isn't anything crazy. Like, they sit down, they talk. I think she's completely trying to play the victim the whole time. That's what it seems like. And then at the end, just starts crying and storms off. It's very weird. I don't think Rain, like, went in there and was combative or doing anything crazy. I've seen some people having some crazy opinions that Rain is just so crazy that you did this. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But he also came out with more things that he released their Discord messages between Rain and Grace. So he shared the conversations with Grace prior to filming their video. So this is before they sat down and talked. You can see Rain, he put a whole paragraph here telling her that he was sorry, he was apologizing for all this stuff. He said he's an idiot. You know, honestly, just saying he was sorry and apologizing and doing all this stuff. So, like, again, nothing crazy, right? Like, literally nothing crazy. And her response to all this stuff, actually, I don't know if this is her response or we can look at times. It is her response. So, or actually, she did that first. So this is her first message, and he responded with this. And I'm assuming she didn't respond because he didn't put this message, but she said happy birthday to Rain and sorry for out of line comment of basically, you know, him calling her mid and then her saying, well, you almost died off drugs. So, I mean, that was crazy, right? I don't know. People can say like, oh, well, he dished it, he could take it. Sure. I mean, sure, right? I don't think Rain was sitting there crying in a corner because she said that. But I think for her, who's saying, I can't believe he would ever call me mid, to say, you know, what she said is kind of hypocritical. If she just owned it, I would say, yeah, like, okay, we're talking trash on the internet, and neither of them would have really cared, but obviously one of them really cared. And even FaZe Clan themselves responded to all this stuff. They said FaZe is no stranger to contrasting viewpoints and passionate opinions on the future of the brand. Recruitment has always drawn that out, but make no mistake, the mistreatment of our newest member is in no way okay. Grace joined in hopes to bring her voice to FaZe, and we stand by her. And honestly, you know, not that crazy to think about. Like, FaZe hates Rain, right? The corporate people, the people who are in charge of FaZe now don't like Rain. I think that's pretty obvious. So obviously anything against Rain, they're probably gonna be on the other side of that. And they recruited her. On top of that, like, FaZe is being run as a like agency to just sign people to say just sell the logo, and we all know that's not going to work. But the way that they're doing this stuff now, it's crazy that they think that that's going to work. And for FaZe Clan, they knew what they're doing, right? So like anyone who they recruit, literally anybody, right? At this point, they're just signing celebrities. So when you sign to FaZe, you don't even join FaZe anymore, really. When you sign to FaZe, that's not special, right? Like for looking at this, they signed a Stranger Things actress who's on one episode of the show. If they could have signed Millie Bobby Brown for the same amount that they signed Grace for, they're signing Millie Bobby Brown 100% of the time. So it's not, they didn't pick you. They didn't pick these people. They just put out the amount of money that they think they could be fair to get someone of equal celebrity to push the logo and push FaZe. So it's crazy to think like joining FaZe matters, because if they could sign someone of bigger celebrity at the same price, they would throw you to the wayside immediately. And I think that's a lot of the stuff that isn't being talked about, that people are just focused on one side. Either you hate Rain and what he did, or you hate Grace and what she's doing, or you hate FaZe Clan, which is probably something everyone can agree on, at least right now, on how they're running. I was never a huge fan of FaZe. I never really paid attention to them. I was more on Optic's side during all of that stuff when that was going down. But still, you can't look at FaZe and say it's the same that it's run now. If you compare FaZe to Optic right now, Optic runs a lot more traditionally like they used to before, where people are joining Optic, and because they're a part of Optic, they get a huge amount of support off the rip, and they could spiral that into some massive career and doing great things with it. FaZe is a complete opposite. They just sign celebrities. They just throw money at celebrities and hope for the best. But I do think people are super hung up on Rain versus Grace, that they aren't looking at this and seeing that it's really FaZe like just being run into the ground, and it really has nothing to do with Rain or Grace, because neither of them are in control of anything, right? Rain is clearly not making the decisions. Grace is signing and getting paid, and FaZe is the one pulling all the strings. So they're the ones who know what they're doing. They put out that tweet before saying, we need more women, knowing that they already signed one to get people's hopes up, to farm impressions, and then make their announcement a few days later. So really, if people are going to be upset at the situation, probably just be more upset at FaZe itself. And as a result of all this, she is private on Twitter now and took out FaZe from her bio. So maybe she actually left FaZe. Honestly, I don't know how that could happen, because it's not like the good old days where when you joined an org, you changed your gamer tag. Now you join an org, you sign a contract. So I don't know how she could get out of that, unless FaZe just releases her and says, you know what, whatever, both of them want to go, and both of them agree to, release the contract and cut it up. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe FaZe just agreed to, you know what, cut the losses, and they're going to sign some other celebrity in the next month. But maybe this is the end of this saga, this drama between Rain and Grace. I don't know exactly what more can happen, right? I'm sure we'll get some sort of tweet storm back and forth at some point, but I don't think anything big is going to happen. I don't think anything major is going to happen. It's pretty much done and dusted right now. And throughout this entire drama, FaZe stock still is terrible, and they still at risk of being delisted. So, at the end of the day, nothing is helping FaZe. Everything is bad for them. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.